People, we're back again. What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Myles in the building with you for however long this is going to take, because we are doing it again. Another album review. This time we're doing Atlanta's finest, Lil Baby. He just dropped his brand new album, My Turn. Let's talk about it. In the last 2 to 3 years, I feel like Lil Baby's definitely had a really good come up. He's, he blew up with Gunna and the Quality QC Control movement. And when we got to Drip Too Hard, the song that came out in 2018, I definitely thought that Gunna, in my opinion, was way better than Lil Baby. Like, way better. I thought they were miles apart. I liked Lil Baby, but I thought, nah, Gunna's gonna be the star and Lil Baby's gonna be like the other one, right? That was completely wrong. This time, I'd say last year, before we got Drip or Drown by Gunna, I was like, okay, cool. The momentum that Gunna's put into the work, if Drip or Drown 2 works, he's gonna do well. It's gonna be sick. However, that project was dead, and I'm not gonna lie to you, yeah, it wasn't. Listen, that Friday when that came out, I was there. I was ready for it. When it came out, after that, I was like, yo, I've wasted my time here, and this is an L. Like, there's a few songs that are decent, like Three-Headed Snake and all that, but I feel like he had lost a lot of the momentum, and it left the window on the door open for Lil Baby to come through. So getting into this project now, I was expecting quite a lot, because when I said last year that, Gunna had come through and had the momentum up until we got Drip Harder, Drip or Drown 2, the same thing was going through Lil Baby. He'd just come off the back of releasing, one of the tracks from the Queen and Slim soundtrack, Catch the Sun, which showed a different range and that his music could be put into a different space, which wasn't just a trap sounding environment. We also had Woah that had come out, which for me is pretty much a certified banger, so we're not really going to be reviewing that one today either. Something to Prove was another one which was like, okay, cool, this is kind of nice. Like, I don't feel like it was the greatest of singles to promote the album. However, I do believe that in the build-up and the process of it all, like, it was just something to put out and people were getting more and more excited. Like I said, people were getting to that point now where they were like, yes, drop the album, fam, drop the thing. And that being said, production credits came from Takeyf, Twisted Genius, Murder Beats. I think Buddha was on this one as well. Buddha bless this beat. He made a lot of tracks for Migos as well. And that was about it. There's a few other people on there as well, but they were the main ones that you kind of hear the credits and the tags constantly go for. But let's break this down. So for me personally, I don't feel like the album necessarily has a linear narrative. It's 20 tracks. It's not long, but it's quite long. But fundamentally, like, the main theme is kind of his struggle and his come up. That is kind of what you can take away from it automatically. Me personally, when I'm listening to Lil Baby, again, a bit like Pop Smoke, which I did the review for, RIP to Pop Smoke every single time, I'm not necessarily listening for lyrical ability, because on this project we don't get that I don't think we get that many lines that I'm like, oh, yo, that's sick, that's the one. We don't really get that much, but it's more about the beat. Is it bouncy? Is it dark? Is it extra trappy? I don't think that even makes sense, but you know what I'm trying to say. Is that what we basically get? And I think, that being said, the album does start quite well with the track Get Ugly. It's a good warm-up. It talks about Coach K kind of getting Lil Baby out of the situation that he was in, and you kind of hear other things that he was doing in his project. Offset, Cardi B, they get mentioned with another like pun, and we hear that all the time now, so it's nothing special, but I thought I'd just mention that and fling that in. But let's talk about some of the major highlights for me on this. I personally think sometimes with albums, right, especially when they're 20 tracks long, and a lot of the songs have a feature on it. We've got Young Thug on this, we've got Moneybagg Yo, we've got DJ Paul from 3 6 Mafia, we've got Lil Wayne, Future, Lil Uzi Vert. There's a lot of people on this project, isn't it? There's a lot of people on there. So it's nervous sometimes when you get some people that do well and then other people that are dead on it. However, and that's the key, I think everyone was waiting for me to say something bad. However, this one, yeah, there isn't that many people that actually do that badly on any of the tracks. For example, Grace, which features 42 Dugg. Now that song, it's not bad, it's decent, but when I first heard that, I was thinking to myself, listen, you put Kodak Black on this and it would actually slap. Now, a lot of people don't really mess with Kodak Black like that at the moment. A lot of people don't vibe with him. However, fundamentally, when you hear that song, or if you've already heard it and you're coming back to listen to the reaction, go back, press play on that, and you'll hear it and be like, yeah, man. If Kodak Black did that, it could have been a Mazza still. Live Off My Closet featuring Future was decent again. And I mean, like, when you see big names like Future jumping on a track, you're kind of expecting something, you know, a bit of a Mazza in it. You're expecting a Mazza. This one, it delivers the hype. It definitely delivers the hype. I feel like there's no lyrical, you know, wow to be said, apart from this one lyric that I'll read out in a second. Man said, this is Future, by the way, I go Jerusalem, they calling me daddy. And that's not on point, so I'll say it slowly again. I go Jerusalem, they calling me daddy. I don't, yeah. It's one of them ones, it's like, okay, like, would they? Yeah, okay, whatever you think, innit? Have fun with it. But fundamentally, it's not bad. It's just one of those situations where, again, you're listening to the flow, you're listening to delivery, you're not listening to the lyrics like that. Because if I was to sit there and to listen to some of the lyrics that go through, and not just this album, but hip hop in general, you'd be scratching your eyes out, because some of them are actually terrible. I was about to swear. Actually terrible. We get to Lil Uzi Vert, and as you know by now, I'm not following the actual order of the track list. I'm just going through stuff. Lil Uzi Vert, his part, I was worried because obviously people are still waiting for Eternal Take, yeah? Or whatever you want to call it at this point. The name might even change. People have been waiting for that. That has basically become Lil Uzi Vert's The Carter 5, you know, like the Lil Wayne one. It's become that. Will we ever get it? Because it's been years, but really and truly, it hasn't even been that long. Like what? Love Is Rage 2 came out 2017. So 3 years, 2 and a bit, because it's still early in 2020. But yeah, people have been just waiting for him to drop something. And to be fair, I was worried, innit? Because after Futsal Shuffle 2020, I was like, I'm not trying to hear from this dog for a while, you know? Maybe go back to the drawing board and start again. However, on this dark and jumpy trap beat that we get, I'm enjoying the whole vibe of the track. I like it. It has a good feel to it. It's one of them ones where, you know, you put your head down, yeah, you just start getting gas for no reason. It's one of them. I can't lie. I've only listened to this project once through. That's why I'm doing this review. So as I say, things are always subject to change once you've only listened to something once. But it is a very, very good song. And to be fair, it's definitely in my top 3 right now for picks of this project. The only thing I have with it is the chorus is a bit shaky. Like the first 2 like lines he says, which I think equates to about 1 beat, right? In the actual chorus itself. I don't like that switch up, and I thought it was a one-off that he was going to do. He does it about 2 or 3 times in the song, and that takes away from me the momentum that we get. However, I can't take away from the song. Lil Uzi Vert also shouts out Kobe Bryant as well. Let me read out the lyric. Spent $1 million like I'm trying to bring back Kobe. So we know this is a recently recorded verse from Lil Uzi Vert, and yeah, overall no one really disappoints when it comes to features. So as a whole, we can keep running through loads of different people. Young Thug's one is quite mellow, and it wasn't what I expected. I thought he was going to come in something hype. It's more of an R&B vibey kind of track. Like if I heard like a Jeremiah or a Ty Dolla $ign or a Trey Songz on it, I wouldn't have been mad. Like Young Thug can do R&B like that, you know, but I feel like it would have been nice. You know what? Actually, saying that to save all the chat, just put A Boogie on it. Just put A Boogie on it and everyone would have been gassed, because A Boogie is pretty much, if it comes to new age R&B hip hop kind of sound, I feel like A Boogie is probably that guy. If I'm wrong, at me in it. But I didn't review his album last week, but I definitely think that he probably has a better shout for the R&B kind of vibe. So I feel like putting him on that would have been decent. The Lil Wayne feature as well. You know what? Lil Wayne did way better on this than he even bothered to do on that track he released with Big Sean and Lil Baby on his album. That's what sometimes happens, yeah? How are you giving away your best verse on someone else's tape? Now, I know obviously it's still you, so fundamentally people will still rate you, but his verse on this was so much better than the other one that he did on Funeral with I Do It. Big Sean ruined that song anyway, but listen, why couldn't you do that on Funeral? Anyway, moving away from that, yeah, listen, that was just, I'm ranting now, I'm getting spirited, but I'm just saying that could have done that on Funeral and it would have worked. Good verse, and that's pretty much the features. Oh yeah, and No Sucker, which features Moneybagg Yo, definitely should have had Quavo on it. Put Quavo on that would have slapped harder still. But fundamentally, like, as a whole, project's pretty good. It's pretty decent. Like, there's a lot of tracks on there, a lot of tracks that need to get broken down, but when I was listening through it, I didn't think any track was bad. Like, there's no track that directly comes out to me and goes, oh my God, this is actually dead. Maybe I would say some of the tracks are a bit long, and imagine most of the tracks, I don't think any track reaches 4 minutes. I think some of them reach 3.5. But like I said in some of my other videos, when we get to this age now where songs are like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, you kind of get to the point where you're at 2:45 and you're like, where you going, fam? Where is this going? But that's one of my only limited critiques. I do believe there's something for everyone on this actual tape as well. Like, to be honest with you, I think you've got, like, you know, the bouncy trap beats, like Forget That, which if the Baby was on that as well, that would have been nuts. But again, I'm being picky. That's cool. You've got more mellow ones with, like, the one with Young Thug. You've got darker ones with the one with Uzi Vert, and maybe even the one with Future on that as well. Like, you have something for everyone, and I feel like a lot of the songs, again, maybe in 6 months' time, you might float away and just be like, skip. However, I feel like right now, because February was a bit of a weird month for music, no one really dropped. That's why no really real major reviews came out from me that I liked, at least. Do you know what I mean? Maybe March will be different. There's still a few things we got to talk about. Do you know what I mean? The album isn't necessarily linear. There isn't any main structure to it. There are no skits to kind of, you know, break it up and be like, cool. So that does kind of make you feel a bit lost. As I was getting to the end, I think I was getting to, like, Heatin', that song, and I think that's track 18. And I kind of phased out of listening to the last, like, 2. So that is a problem in there. As time goes on, we're probably going to get to the point where certain songs will randomly come up in someone's shuffle and be like, oh, swear down, I forgot about that one, you know that was that. Yeah. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. It kind of moves like that. We are, at the very end of February right now. It's the 28th. By the time this goes out, it might be the 28th, it might be the 29th, because internet's dead. But it's probably the hip-hop project of the year so far. I can't think of anything else that has topped it. Maybe Pop Smoke's Meet the Woo for a different reason. If I'm looking for hype, I'm definitely going with the Pop Smoke album still, even though it's been a couple of weeks since that's been out. And of course, rest in peace to Pop Smoke as well. So that will make the music continue to last a little bit longer. I feel like this is probably the best project. Again, it's still early. It's only February. Wells will come out this year. Amine looks like he's going to be dropping something. There's other people there. I would give this one, if I was giving it out of 10 right now, first listen, which I don't usually do, but I'll do it for this one, I'd probably give it maybe like a 7, 6, 7, because certain songs need to grow on me, but it has the potential to rise. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. It's not a 6 with the potential to drop. It's a 6 to rise. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you guys did enjoy that review. If you liked it, make sure you leave a like. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite songs were, because we need to talk about that. I'm always in the comments, to be honest. If you say something, I'm there in it. So let's have a conversation in the comments. If you like this, follow me on Instagram as well. I'll put a thing over it so you can see it over my face right about now. Drop me a follow. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I feel like this year, it's still early, but I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers this year. And yeah, let's see if we can make that happen. You know what I mean? And thank you to everyone who's been supporting the videos so far as well. Dutch Avelli interview that I put out on last Friday has done a madness so far. So let's keep this momentum going for 2020 and let's see what we can do. Anyway, I'll see you for the next review or the next piece of video content that I put out. Don't know yet. Ain't got no schedule like that yet. I'll see you then. Peace.